How's it going, guys? My name's Honcho and welcome to another squad video. If there was ever a role to play in squad where literally anyone can go into, have no friends or assailants on the server, but still wind up being the most popular person on there, yep, it's gotta be the medic. A very simple role to fill, but you probably have some of the biggest influence on whether or not your team can win, because simply put, the more people you keep going and picking up, the less tickets your team will burn through. So whilst this is a fairly basic role that even the biggest noob can do, this guide will show you some tips and tricks that will make you excel as a medic, and I can guarantee even some of the most experienced docs on the field will learn a thing or two from this video. Let's start off with the basics first of all. All squads can have a maximum of 2 medics, or corpsmen if you're a marine. One gets a scoped rifle, and one will either get iron sights or a hollow. A few factions allow medics to have a grenade or 2, which can be very useful. You also get your usual stuff like a sidearm, combat knife, handful of smokes, but the main thing that you will notice is you get 9 field dressings and a med kit. To go along with the field dressings, you also get a 25% speed boost to pick up or bandage people over all other classes. Your field dressings cost around 2 ammo each per dressing, and your med kit, which is used to heal people back to full health, never runs out. When a friendly is bleeding, you get to see the bleeding icon both on the map and those nearest to you. The same goes if somebody needs healed or they are incapacitated. So like most roles within squad, your map is basically your best friend. Your field dressings are used to pick people back up when they are incapacitated. Most people generally have a bleed out timer of approximately 260 seconds, but depending on what hit them and where, it can be as low as 120 seconds, 30 seconds, or even lower. Now when you do pick someone up, if it is safe to do so, switch straight to your medkit and heal them up to full health. If you don't, they are stuck with this horrendous black and white screen for 2 minutes and a red skull shows up on the bottom of their screen, indicating that any damage they take now will instantly kill them and they cannot be revived. So always heal them up so they are fully combat effective before moving on to your next customer. Now I know this guide is coming fresh off the back of a free weekend, which I thoroughly enjoyed, I must add, but for a long time people always rag on the Marks meme class because they're always found so far off point they may as well be on another map. Well, I see a lot of people do this with the medic kit as well, and as a medic it's literally the worst thing you can do. You are the lifeblood of not only your squad, but your team. Now I know some people do it so they can heal themselves whilst going on the wildest flank to push solo an enemy hab or radio, especially if they're in a 2 or a 3-man lock squad that's going around hab hunting, then fair enough. It's the only kit that they can grab, and they are working to serve a purpose within their small unit. But if you are in a full squad and you have essentially abandoned your team to go do some mad stuff, I'm sorry to tell you, but that needs to stop.
Stop it.
Anyway, before I start ranting about more stuff like this, that's the basics of the kit covered. Now it's time to delve a bit deeper into the kit to make sure you become the best doc on the field. One of the most important aspects of being a medic is to have really good situational awareness, some patience, and the ability to sneak into areas not even a combat engineer could dream of doing. The reason why this is so important is if you see a few guys ahead of you who have been downed that you are heading over to pick up, the first thing you want to be asking is why are they down? Press V to speak in local chat and ask them what happened before rushing in to pick them up. Because chances are if they've been mowed down by an MG3 or something like that, the guy will still be there waiting for you to show up and will either mow you down instantly or wait till you pick everyone up and then hose you all back down. Hopefully they'll tell you, oh hey, there's a guy to the northwest, watch out, as this gives you a good idea of where you need to be careful for, and you can deploy your smokes accordingly. Again, like I mentioned before, routinely check your map. The guys that you're picking up may not have a working microphone, but will have marked infantry markers to where they got shot from. It's always a good idea to smoke out before picking your teammates up, as concealment is your friend. And no, I don't mean hit a blunt. I can't emphasize all of this enough. There's nothing more frustrating than being domed, getting picked up, and then instantly domed again by the same person who whacked me in the first place. So at least if you've thrown your smokes down to conceal your area, you've taken away the enemy's line of sight. Now another great mechanic you can use is body dragging. Simply crouch down by their head or feet and press F. No, this isn't done so you pay respect. This is so you can grab hold of your teammate's limp body and you can drag him face first to safety before picking them back up. Again, it's all about staying hidden. Urban maps, this is probably your biggest friend because people are always getting slumped coming out of doorways. If you are going to drag someone who's more exposed, try and get someone to cover you or switch to your sidearm before dragging. At least if you have your sidearm in hand and someone runs up at you, you can pop them much quicker than it would be to pull your rifle back out. Not only that, but you look badass in the process. Oh, and if you fancy a bit of fun, yes, you can drag enemy bodies. In fact, here's a good general tip for everybody. If you kill someone digging down your hab or radio, or just close by in general, just drag them a good 50 meters away, so if they do get picked up, they're confused as hell as the radio is now nowhere near them. But my personal favorite is to drag them into deep water or throw them into an area that is inaccessible. Places like the harbour in Honcho and Scorpo are perfect for doing this. Literally dumping bodies in the ocean like someone from the mafia. Anyway, enough on war crimes, let's get back on point. There's always going to be bodies scattered in areas that are just too wide open to chance, especially if an enemy vehicle is nearby. Sometimes you have to say no to them as it's certain death going in to pick them up unless you have a lot of support. If you have run out of smokes to throw, see if a friendly vehicle is nearby and get them to use their driver smoke to cover your area. Now when it comes to setting up Habs, radios, rallies, etc, it's always best if you stay directly with the squad leader, because without them, you ain't getting nothing. Trust me, it's so frustrating when your squad is trying to set something up, they get ambushed, and the medic is over on the other side of the map. Now a cool little feature people don't know about is whilst you are in a vehicle or a helicopter and somebody gets hit, whilst no one can bandage till they get out, you can look around to see their health situation. It's very common to get lit up in a lodgy but still survive the situation even though half the squad is now bleeding, but you can really help out by saying how much health they still have left. If they have more than half, the vehicle can continue to distance itself from the threat, whereas if they're closer to a quarter and still bleeding out, then you need to tell the driver to park somewhere safe immediately. So now you can basically add counselling to your list of jobs. If you come across an absolute heap of bodies because of something like artillery or someone who's been camping your hab has finally been dropped, it's a good idea to pick up the other medics first to lighten your load. You could even get one dedicated to reviving whilst the other one is healing. Always do your best to keep your dressings replenished, be it from your hab, friendly vehicle, or nearby rifleman, but don't ever be afraid to ask for them. You getting 4 more dressings is far more important than some random Joe getting a grenade that will just kill half of his own squad anyway. When you are putting a field dressing on someone in the middle of a firefight and they're bleeding out at something absurd like they have 5% health left, sometimes you're better off letting them bleed out before you use your dressing. Otherwise, they'll bleed out mid-bandage, which annoyingly means you have to use another bandage to pick them up. Don't think for a minute though that you'll never get to see any action. I'll be honest, in more cases than not, there will be a lot of situations that you will have to clutch up for your squad or team. Popping that one guy who's mowed down those near you and then to pick everybody back up again to allow the defense or that push to continue, that's all you. But if you want to go full Hacksaw Ridge and just recover bodies and keep the team in good shape, no one is going to have anything against that. Think about it, if you pick up 20 people in the game, that's 20 tickets saved. More so if you revive the commander, as he's 2 tickets a pop on his own. Now imagine 5 medics pick up 20 each. That's 100 tickets saved. Games like Invasion, especially as the attacking force, is where your effectiveness has the greatest impact on your team's success. Anyway, that covers what you need to know as a medic. If you have any other tips for medics out there, feel free to put them in the comments down below or share them within the Discord. Oh, and one last thing, if you see someone else picking up your squad lead, pop them in the back of the head with your sidearm. He's your squad lead. Oh, and don't worry, I won't tell if you don't. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next video.